Come on, let's get our hands together. Come on.
Walking through a crowd of villages and hills, the light is still loud, having something else. Everybody here wanted something more, searching for a sound we hadn't heard before, and it said, "Welcome to New York." Welcome to New York. 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 It's a new soundtrack. I can dance to this beat. More and more, the lights are so bright. They never come. When we first dropped our bags on the carbon floor, took our broken hearts, put them in a drawer. Everybody here was someone else before, and you get one, boys and boys and girls and girls. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. It's a new soundtrack. The lights are so bright. They never
That's beat up. 4 exams, right, okay. Hey, well guys, we hope you have a wonderful summer, right? And that's why we're doing this road trip series to kind of kick into the summer. And this is week 3 of road trip, the last week of our road trip series. If you guys remember, hey, what's up, Skylar? How you doing, man? 2 weeks ago, we started this series and we talked about our destination. You gotta know where you wanna go, right? We actually realized, and we talked about it, guys, we said that if you don't know yet where you wanna go in life, It's okay. It's all right. But you have to be sure, guys, that you're letting God lead you there. You got to have your GPS, right? Get to know God, pray more, serve, show His love, right? He's going to show you where to go. Last week, what did we talk about? Car breaking down. There you go, Tristan. Yeah. Guys, we talked about conflict. We talked really about grief. What happens when you grieve in life? How do you respond from that? When you break down, when you don't have anything left, right? We looked at what Jesus talked about, saying that, hey, take my yoke upon your shoulders with you, and I'm going to help you, you who are weary and burdened. Guys, God's going to get you through whatever you're dealing with. Because in your road trip, in your journey of life, you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. But God will get you through it. And tonight's the last week, and we're going to talk about one thing that we have not really covered yet in the road trip series. What do you guys think we're going to talk about? Because hold on, let me set it up for you. We already, picture this. Your car is packed. You got the snacks, you got the beef jerky, the pork rinds, whatever you guys want to eat, right? You also have your GPS set ready to go. The car's full of gas. Your alternator's fixed. Battery's good. What else are you missing?
Your people.
Oh, I heard it. Who said it? Yeah, that's right. Madison got it. Guys, we're missing people, right? What we're really, really looking for. What else are you looking for on your road trip of life, guys? You got it. First guess. The thing that we're looking for on our road trip of life, guys, is it's people. And let's be honest, okay? Starbucks fans, yeah. Starbucks did a survey 3 summers ago. They surveyed 1,000 people and they said, hey, what's the most essential must-have for a road trip? And we're talking Starbucks people, so they love coffee. Guys, coffee was like 5th on the list. Number 1 must-have is a good travel buddy. Tripping, yeah, let's get thanks a little, right? You gotta have a good travel buddy on your road trip. Guys, TripAdvisor. Once you guys get old and you book flights to see your friends from college or people that you grew up with, you go to TripAdvisor. And TripAdvisor said the same thing. The number one, the most essential, what you really, really need to be sure you have, is a good travel buddy. You gotta have it. Guys, don't we want the same thing going on our journey in life? Now, I know what you're saying. You might be like, dude, I like to get in the car and just drive. Well, if you're in high school and if you like to just drive, let's be real for a second. You're probably on the phone talking to somebody, right? You're connected with them. Or if you're road tripping this summer with your family and you guys are going to Wally World or something crazy, right? And wherever you're road tripping and going, what are you probably doing the whole time? Instead of hearing about your Uncle Joe's foot fungus or Aunt Ruth's bad hip, you can listen to music, but you guys are on your phone texting. Right? You're trying to connect with a good travel buddy. Some of y'all are sitting here texting right now like, oh my goodness, I miss you. I haven't seen you since 5 o'clock. This is crazy. I haven't seen you since before the service. Guys, we always want good travel buddies. Let's be real, we just do in life. And it's so crazy. I was doing research for this on Monday and I was like, how am I going to talk about good travel buddies? I went to Google. Yeah, that's right. I found all my stats from Google. And I'm looking around and I'm typing in good travel buddies and I actually found a website, right, called Good Travel Buddies Around the World.com. Something like that. Good Travel Buddies, Nice Travel Buddies Around the World.com. It's a whole website, guys. True story. They have been to 35% of the world's countries. We're talking North Korea, where that crazy leader is, China, Russia, Jamaica, South Africa. They've been all over the place, guys, in Good Travel Buddies. So in my mind, I thought a good travel buddy, I was like, oh, dude, somebody cleaned up. Somebody has a business where what? Probably like, hey, you can hire me to go and travel with you. I'll be so nice and laugh at your jokes and do everything. Wouldn't you guys think that's what the website's about? You just like travel, go with them? Actually, guys, what it is, check this out here. I want you guys to say hello to Walter. Here's Walter, the penguin. He is in Egypt at the pyramids of all right, we got some history fans. The pyramids of Giza, Walter went with them. Hey, but it gets better. Check out this next picture here of old Louis. There's Louis. Looks like something from the Muppets. Louis is where? He's in the Eiffel Tower, right? And then last but not least, let's check out old Raoul here. Raoul is sloth, and he is on the wall. Mr. Trump said he's on the Great Wall of China. Okay? Guys, it's so true. Hey, why am I showing you these stuffed animals? Because it's a true website. It really, really is. Good Travel Buddy, aroundtheworld.com. Google it. Guys, and these individuals are actually registered. Seriously, what they did, you go on that website and you can create a passport for your stuffed animal or your toy or your dog or your G.I. Joe or your mascot, whatever you want. It's true. And wherever you travel, guys, 35% of the countries in the world, they have pictures, right, with Raul and Louis and Walter and all these other guys. They take them with you. You know why, guys? Because we don't like to travel or journey anywhere by ourselves. Even if you're going somewhere this summer, and you're like, okay, well, I'm actually traveling by myself. I'm going to at least bring stuff Raul here, so I have some company. Guys, you know how we describe a buddy? The exact definition for a buddy? It's a close friend. In our road trip of life, don't we like close friends? Yeah, we want close friends. We really, really do. Think about it. In middle school, you guys definitely want close friends. In high school, yeah, you might act cool, but you still want close friends. That's why we get so upset when all of a sudden somebody says something about us. Oh, I thought she was my friend. Now she's over here hanging out with my old boyfriend. Oh, that just really hurts. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because you're not going to remember his name in 2 years. But you know what bothers you? Because you want to have that friendship, right? Guys, we want close friends because we don't want to be alone. We want somebody to journey with us. And you might be sitting out there like, nah, I like going by myself. You really like going by yourself? You probably want somebody to help you or encourage you along the way. Because here's my question for you. If you are by yourself and if you don't like having any friends around you, I have a question. What's going to happen when you don't have close friends to journey with you through life? When you have a hard time, last week when your car breaks down, what are you going to do? What happens when you don't have a close friend around you, a buddy around you? I'm not talking about stuff Walter. No, I'm talking about your crew, your boys, your girls, whatever it is. You know something we really like doing with people? Especially if we're in the car, we like listening to music together, don't we? Yeah? What else do you like doing with people? With your close friends? You love to talk about things that are important to you. I asked Whitney today, I said, hey Whit, I said, what do girls like to talk about that's important? You know what she just said? Everything. Somebody just shouted it out. She said everything. Girls like to talk about boys and about clothes and about music and movies. Oh, that's too much, right? Girls, if y'all don't have a close friend, who you can talk to about this, right? You need somebody there. Guys, what do we like to talk about? Sports. Yeah. Football. Girls. Okay, I got you. Girls, right? Hey, maybe movies, maybe that new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which is sweet, right? Absolutely. Michael Stewart, you still go see it. Guys, we like to talk about things. Hey, and if we don't have somebody journeying with us, we're probably on the phone. If we don't have a phone, we're probably texting. If you don't have that friend, though, here's the issue. Guys, when we're journeying through life, if you don't have that person that you can connect with, that buddy, that close friend, what are you going to do? Because it can go real. And it's fun to talk about this stuff. But if you don't have anybody, oftentimes, you might feel like nobody cares about you. You might feel like nobody loves you. You might feel like nobody really wants anything to do with you. They don't really care what you think about or what you talk about. And eventually, guys, it can be depressing. And we have people in this room right here who are struggling with that. And you probably don't see it because they might even have a smile. It might even be someone in your small group who laughs and says the jokes. But really, they don't have close friends that can journey with them and help them when they need it the most. So they'll be the ones cracking up the most. But guys, if you don't have a close friend for your journey, it's going to be hard. You know what's going to be really, really hard to do? It'll be super hard to follow Jesus. It is. You can't follow Jesus by yourself. You look at everybody from the Bible. You know the only person that followed God by himself was Jesus. And Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit, all three in one. That's a whole other night. Guys, nobody could follow God by themselves. They had to have close friends with them, helping them along the way. And tonight we're going to talk about 3 friends from the Bible who had each other, who helped each other, who journeyed together in their road trip of life. All right? Guys, we're going to go to the book of Daniel. Book of Daniel. And we have 3 friends by the name of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Right? 3 friends. Guys, these are, the Bible says that they are youth. Right? Our scholars believe that they were youth. So they were probably teens, probably early 20s, somewhere roughly in that area. All right, so right around y'all's age. Okay, they had some friends in high places. They had a friend by the name of Daniel, the same guy who tangled with the lions and the Daniels, right? Lions, Dan, come on now, okay? And what does Daniel do? Well, Daniel has some friends in some higher places. Nebuchadnezzar, who was king at the time, one of the most powerful rulers, right, the earth had ever seen, Nebuchadnezzar. He listens to Daniel. He likes Daniel. And Daniel says, hey, I've got 3 guys that will be great to help you in your government. There'll be 3 advisors. And their names are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they say, I get to work for King Nebuchadnezzar. Oh, that's great, I'm set. He's one of the most powerful, rich, wealthy rulers ever. But there was one issue, guys, and Nebuchadnezzar is going to talk about this here. Nebuchadnezzar didn't believe in God. He didn't. What Nebuchadnezzar believed was, I'm going to build this huge statue. We don't know what it was a statue of. The Bible didn't want us to know. But it was 90 feet tall. Guys, say what for a second. 90 feet tall. That's like 3 first and 10s for football. That's like the distance from home plate to first base, right? That is a long ways. Oh, and it was gold, too. Gold statue. 90 feet tall, right? Guys, we're talking 9 feet thick or wide. So it was a big statue. And Nebuchadnezzar had one rule. He said, everybody in my government, everybody in my kingdom, I don't care what language you speak, what race you are, what country you're originally from, it doesn't matter. All I want you to do is bow to this statue. That's it. As long as you bow to the statue, everything will be fine. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, hold on. I don't know if I'm really going to bow to this statue because they follow God. So check out what happens here. Nebuchadnezzar calls Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to the court. And they're all going to talk to him. It would probably be a room like this, right? Everybody's watching. Let's see what happens. And Nebuchadnezzar has a conversation with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And let's see what happens. King Nebuchadnezzar says to him, is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you refuse to serve my gods or to worship the gold statue I've set up? Nebuchadnezzar's like, look at that. That's a 90-foot gold statue. All you got to do is bow, worship it. And let's keep going with this. Nebuchadnezzar says, I'm going to give you one more chance right now to bow down and worship the statue I have made. When you hear the sound of the musical instruments. Hey, any marching band people in here? I got a couple. What Nebuchadnezzar would do with his kingdom, right? He tried to keep cultures together, so he had instruments from all the different countries that he conquered, right? So he had a flute, he had harps, he had lyres, he had all these different drums, all kinds of different stuff. So imagine this. It would be like right in the middle of the room here. You've got Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and all he's saying is, hey, band, get ready to tune up. Get ready to play this music. As soon as I play the music, what are they supposed to do? Bow. What are they going to do? Let's find out. If you refuse, here's the deal. If you do not bow down, whenever we play this music, you're going to be thrown immediately into the blazing furnace. You guys, furnace, all right, thing that used to keep your houses warm. Actually, it would still keep your houses warm. You guys, furnaces back then? No, it was a lot bigger. It was brutal. It was a blazing, burning, hot fire outside. And people would literally, to kill if they didn't listen to the king, guess what the king would do? Drop in. So they have an option here. Either I'm going to bow down to this golden statue, which doesn't seem like okay, I'll bow down, or I can stand for God, and I'm going to face death. Nebuchadnezzar says, what God will be able to rescue you from my power? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Let's look and see how they respond. So they reply, oh, Nebuchadnezzar. I feel like they probably threw a hand like, oh, Nebuchadnezzar, man, you tripping. We do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we're thrown in this blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. Hey, in other words, nah, man, we're not even worried about that. We're not tripping on that, because if you throw us in this furnace, guess what? We're good. Because I know that our God, that we are standing for together, that we are following together, He can save us. And it even gets better though. Check out this confidence and this faith they have. Look at that fish. But even if He doesn't, they say, even if God doesn't save us, check this. We still want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up. Talk about another drop the mic moment. I feel like all three of them had a mic, probably in unison. They do like a turnaround. Boop. In other words, we're not doing it. There is no possible way. And you know, game 3 of the finals is tonight. It's tense, right? If the Cavs don't win, Warriors are getting the broom out. Everybody's wondering what's going to happen. Tensions are high. Right here, when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego tell King Nebuchadnezzar, go fishing, have fun, we're not going to do that. Everybody was probably like, ooh. You know how they say that in class, right? Ooh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen here? So what did Nebuchadnezzar do? He got 3 of his strongest soldiers from the army. So, okay, you really don't want to bow down? I like you guys, but remember, you're part of my government. If I don't punish you, nobody's going to respect me. And I'm furious. The Message translation of the Bible says that Nebuchadnezzar's face turned almost like it was purple. He was so mad. And Nebuchadnezzar says, I want my 3 strongest people from the army. We're going to get you guys. I want you to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Take them to this furnace. I want you to throw them in it. But that just wasn't it. He actually went further. Bible says in Daniel that he got the fire 7 times hotter than it normally was. Well, the number 7 in the Bible is typically used to show completeness. Right? 7 days in a week, right? To show it's done, it's finished. 7 days here. God created the world in how many days? Yeah, 7 days. He took the 7th day to rest, 6, then 7 to rest. There you go. That's kind of a trick question, I'm sorry. But what happens, guys, he says, I'm going to throw you guys in the furnace. He got the fire as hot as possible. The flames were coming out of this furnace, and they dropped Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in. Oh, and you know those soldiers that tied them up and dropped them in? When they dropped them in the furnace, the fire was so hot that they were consumed by the flames and they died. Seriously, that's how hot it was. If you get close to it, drop them in, everybody just falls out. All of them were dead. And the king's just thinking, okay, well, I had to prove a point, I had to prove a lesson. But what's so cool, guys, is that Daniel keeps telling the story, and he says, oh, all of a sudden, guys, there weren't just 3 people in the furnace, there was 4. And Nebuchadnezzar freaks out. He says, oh, man, it's like in a dressing room. You guys go to Sears or you go to the mall somewhere and you're shopping, probably not Sears. You guys go to Dillard's and the discount center there, how about that? And like, you know the old school dressing rooms, like where you can kind of see under? Or if you're going in the stall, like, is somebody in there? Let me look and see. It's like one of these furnaces where you can see how many people are in there. All of a sudden you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Nebuchadnezzar says, am I losing my mind? He said, how are there 4 people in there? I only put 3 in. His advisor said, no, you're not losing your mind. Something's going on here. Who was in there with him? Yeah. Crazy. Jesus was in there with him. In the Old Testament. So it's insane. It's so cool. Nebuchadnezzar says, immediately, come out. And he says, I'm sorry. I messed up. Right? And Nebuchadnezzar changed forever. You know what's really cool about this story? Guys, is that when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire, their hairs perfectly fine. You know, if you burn hair, it gets a little singed. Their clothes weren't even touched. They were unscathed. And then check this. Daniel even says that they didn't even smell like a bonfire. If y'all came to our bonfire a couple months ago, I smelled like a fire for probably 2 weeks. You just get stuck in your hair. They said they didn't even smell like a fire. These dudes came out. Oh, the only thing that was different, the ropes that bind them together, they were burned off. That's it. Because God was in there with them and he saved them. And it's incredible. And from that moment on, Nebuchadnezzar knew, hey, because these 3 friends, they stood together, they were willing to give in to any of that peer pressure. We're not even talking like, oh, you need to do this. Hey, if you don't do this, you're going to die. But they stood strong for God, and he saved them. From that moment on, Nebuchadnezzar he went and told his whole kingdom that they had to follow this God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Guys, the influence that those 3 friends had was huge. And I want to tell you, in middle school and high school, as a small group leader, whatever you're doing, guys, we have to find friends that we can stand with. We have to. We have to find friends that are going to encourage us in our journey. As we're going through life, we got to have them. You know you want your close buddy, and you don't have to have that stuffed animal, guys. Let's be real. Let's leave that. Okay, just leave it. Guys, you got to find people who are going to help you with your walk with God. People who care about that. People who are going to stand up for what's right and what's wrong. You have to. Because if we don't, guys, we're going to be alone. And it's so hard to try and follow God by yourself. I like to think of this story with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and I always wonder, like, what would happen if they were by themselves? Like, if it would have been just Shadrach probably would have been like, okay, I don't know, he might have been, I'm just going to bow. Abednego, yeah. Guys, when you're together, you guys can rally around something. You can stand up for a cause. If you find friends you can stand with, and stand with them for the right reasons, guys, your road trip and your journey through life is going to be so much smoother. Everything's not going to be perfect. Everything's not going to be A-okay. But you need that. Nobody's supposed to journey by themselves. Maybe you're out here and you are thinking right now about some of the friends you have. And you might say, well, you know, I don't really have any friends that can help me stand for God. I don't have them. Does that mean I need to just ditch all my friends like deuces? Does that mean that I just can't have any ties or connections with them anymore? No, that's not what we're saying. Guys, if you want to find friends that you can stand with, first thing you can do, you got to be that friend first. You got to be the person that's willing to stand for what you believe. You have to. And let's be real, guys. How you love other people, how you treat other people, how you care for other people. Guys, wouldn't you want to lead by example the friends you hang out with? I hear some of y'all talk to each other, and I'm like, that is just filthy. What in the world? Ladies, I don't know why y'all put up with some of the stuff God said to y'all, because I'm just like, that's out of control. Hey, we have to lead by example, guys. And if you're here, and if you're not a follower of Jesus right yet, you're kind of just checking this whole thing out, we're so glad you're here. We hope you enjoy it. We hope it don't scare you away with our Impact Idol. Guys, but the reality is, listen, this is the example we're supposed to follow. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego gave it to us. We've got to stand. And you never know the influence that you're going to have on people around you. You probably have King Nebuchadnezzar's in your classroom, in your neighborhood, maybe even your house right now, who don't believe in God, might not never believe in God, not ever give it a chance or a shot, unless you stand. And I'm not saying get on your corner and start preaching the gospel. No, you don't have to do that. How you treating them, man? How you loving them? How you caring for them? How you praying for them? Guys, if you want to find friends you can stand with, first you got to be that friend. Second thing, guys, you got to be confident. I like to think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they must have had the craziest swag I could think of. Everybody around them was probably like, yo, guys, just kneel. It's no big deal, some stupid golden statue. Just kneel. They said, there is no way I'm kneeling to anybody but my God. They were confident. They were so confident. Remember the story? They said, even if I get in that furnace, God's going to save me. Regardless of what your furnace might be right now, God will save you. Oh, and check this. If God doesn't save me, I'm still not kneeling. I'm still willing to give it all for Him. Guys, are we confident in our relationship with God? That's what He's calling us to be, man. Remember, guys, it's not just about Shadrach. It's not just about Abednego. I love those names. Be great names for some labs, I think. Right? Guys, they stood together. And you have people right now around you, in your small group, in your neighborhood, they're willing to stand if you'll stand with them. You got to be that friend, guys, and you got to be confident in that faith. And I promise you, man, y'all can start turning heads. We can start turning heads, Impact. I had 2 lunches this week. Right, I just want to share this real quick because it was the craziest thing. On Tuesday, I had lunch with one of our rising seniors. I was connecting with him and love talking with him. He's talking about this. He's like, man, I don't really know why. Like, I can't find any friends that are my age if I hang out with older. Because everybody that I'm hanging out with, they like to party and go out, and I just don't want to do that stuff. He actually said, I just want to go ride go-karts and just have fun, right? I was like, dude, you can still do that. I had another conversation today with one of our leaders who said, hey man, I'm trying to find some friends that are a positive influence on me. And guys, I'll tell you this to encourage you. The friends around you, it's always, always, always going to be important to be the one who stands. It is. You're never, ever, ever going to have a moment or an opportunity in time where you're like, oh, all my friends are perfect. We all follow God. It's great. And that's not what I'm even looking for up here. Guys, because as followers of Jesus, what we're supposed to do, we're still supposed to love those people. It was the same conversation I had yesterday, I had today with my guys, and both of them were the same. And I just asked them the same thing I'm going to ask each of y'all. And this was the question. I said, hey, what is God telling you to do right now? I know He's not telling you to shun those people. Because you have people, everybody in here, somebody in your heart right now, somebody in your mind, that was a friend, or used to be a friend, or is still a friend. Guys, and you have an opportunity to stand. And if you stand for what you believe in, guys, you can influence them incredibly. You can change their whole world. God have more influence over your friends than anybody. If we could stand together For God, we'd be creating new worlds all over the place. It'd be incredible. Nebuchadnezzar changed forever because of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You guys had that same opportunity and potential. Just imagine how different it would be. I want to challenge y'all. Find friends you can stand with and be that friend. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for all of our students in this room and leaders in this room, God, and the road trip and the journey of life. It is long, it's hard, there's trials. We want close friends around us to help us. God, and I pray for all of our students in this room tonight. I pray that they will be able to be strong influences of you and your son Jesus. I pray that we'll be able to stand together, Father, for what we know is right. And I pray that we'll be able to shine your light to people around us who need it. God, we love you and we are so thankful for all that you're doing in our lives. Help us to stand for you and find friends that want to do the same, Jesus. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
You guys please stand. We're going to sing a new song. And as Chris was talking about, through this road trip, through this journey of life, we need a friend right by our side. We need to have the right friends. One thing that I can tell you that I find is so awesome and so true is that we have the best friend to journey through life with us, and that's Jesus. You know, as the old gospel song says, what a friend we have in Jesus. He's with us through our struggles, through our strengths, through our failures, through our weaknesses, and He's right there with us the whole time, encouraging us, carrying us along. And so we're going to sing this song and talk about just that. And, you know, we're going to just declare to Jesus what a beautiful, powerful, and wonderful name the name of Jesus is. So if you would, let's sing this together.
Now revealed in you.
still believes that God can move mountains? If you believe it, let's sing this out. Let's get our hands up. We're gonna sing this out. We're gonna sing, God, we have seen you. You can move mountains, and I believe I'm gonna see you do it again. Do you guys believe that here this room tonight? Let's lift our voices and let's sing.
Some Shadrachs, some Meshachs, some Abednegos, all up in these small groups. I think we have some friends here who are already standing for God, right? And that's y'all, absolutely. Keep doing it, all right? Don't change. Don't let peer pressure get in the way. Because here's the deal. If that's not you yet, it's okay. But my challenge for you is going to be this. How can you be that way this week? How can you be that person for your friends that you're hanging out with, or that person that God placed on your heart? How can you be a reflection of God's love to him this week? I'm not saying shun him, don't shun him, right? But how can you be a reflection of that love to him or to her this week? Because guys, we got to stand for God. That's what it's about. In your road trip of life, you're going to need them friends, all right? Hope you guys enjoy that, for sure. Hey, I know one thing I'm enjoying this road trip, guys, is a little big stuff, which is coming up. It's coming up. I mean, we're talking 2 weeks from Sunday. It is knocking on your door. What you need to be sure that you do, if you have not signed up yet and you're interested, you got to let us know ASAP, okay? Hey, again, if you haven't signed up yet and you're interested, or if you need some help financially, let us know. We'd love to find a way to get you there. Hey, if it's your first time to Impact, come down front for the VIP experience. Everybody else, we love you guys. Have a wonderful week. Keep standing for God.